Well, good evening everyone and welcome to another episode of South York's Allotment. It's been quite a while that I've done a video, so I thought I'd best bring you some footage of what I've been up to and how things are steadily growing on. I've been absolutely ram busy, both on the allotment and with work, working 7 days a week, so it's always been just a quick pop up to the plot and do a couple of hours here and there, so I couldn't be bothered to do any footage and bring it because it's pretty much just going to be the same old for the past month or two. So at the moment I'm just in the process of planting out the purple sprouting broccoli. It's absolutely massive, it's got root pot bound, and I've just done a couple of holes now. I got a couple in, so I'm just going to add a couple more and then hopefully get the frame set up and they'll just be left to their own devices. So this is the area then. It was previously all a mess, overgrown. I've had to cut it back a bit. As you can see, there's parts of this what are an absolute dump, but I have begun to get things tidied up. But there we go, get these in and then I can concentrate on that soon. So these are the purple sprouting broccoli. I'm going to get another 4 in there, and then I'm going to get a frame set up to protect it from the pigeons, because they grow tall anyway, so that gives it at least another 3 foot's worth of protection for the broccoli to be growing up. These are the purple sprouting broccoli plants then, and if I can just do this with one hand, I'll try to. I know they are quite... No, it's not going to work. I'll be back with you in a minute. So that's what really I've been left with. They are far too long and too late to be going out. They've been left far too long in the pots without going out, but I do plan to plant them right up to there, and at least it'll give them a real good sturdy support in the hole. But yeah, they are actually far too long. So then just drop it in the hole there, and as you can see, it's already gone up to near enough the first true leaf there. So now it's in the hole, it's established. Just basically tickle some of the soil I've took out, try and pull a few more of these roots out of the way, and then give it a real good firming down. Really make sure, I will give this another firm down when I'm not holding the camera, but really do make sure that it works right down, because it prevents wind rock and it'll give it the roots a real good strong support. Again with this one, it's important, if you've let it go as bad as I have, just tease the roots out at the bottom, let them grow out a little bit, and then it'll give them a good chance of spreading away. So I've just got a couple more to do then, and then that'll be this part done. So there we have it then, a bit of a makeshift frame, but it's doing the job, and I'm sure as each visit comes I'll just adjust it slightly and just make sure everything's all nicely and tightly kept secure and nothing can get in, such as pigeons, and obviously when the warm weather comes, the butterflies. So at least that's one job crossed off the list so far. So then, today's task is to get rid of all this rubbish, cut all this back, get weeded in between these raised beds. Let's see how far I can get, and I'll be back with you hopefully when it's all done. Okay, so I've just been doing a bit of washing up. I've been giving the tubs a real good soak. I know we've had a lot of rain recently, but the tubs had dried out, so either it's hitting the foliage and not penetrating down into the soil and the roots, I don't know. But anyway, as I was watering, I kind of uncovered a bit of a potato growing. So this variety is the First Early Swift, and it was planted on the 28th of March, and there are 2 seed potatoes in the 10-litre pot. So by my maths, it's 21st of June, so they've been in 81 days, I think it is, somewhere around that time, 81, 85. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to have a little bit of a potato reveal, 21st of June, see what I can get, and yeah, hopefully I'll have a nice little harvest to come. I've just got to set up then, I hope everything's in view and just checking yet. Right, okay, so let's fire away. First of all, I'm just going to cut the tops off with the shears, just to see what I can get in there. a bit too big really, but never mind. Let's see what we can get. There's a couple of diddies already. So I'm just going to pull these out, these stems. And hopefully, I'll see what I've got. I've not got the scales with me, so I'm going to have to weigh these when I get home. But I'm still looking forward to seeing what I've got. Couple already. So they're just a bit bigger than golf ball size at the moment, which is not so bad for new potatoes. It's not bad at all. I don't know if there'll be much more, to be fair. Well watered. Oh, I think the bigger ones might be down at the bottom. Yeah, so I had 2 seed potatoes in this. There's one of them now. There's some of all this excess. Like I say, it's quite wet and stodgy at the moment because I've just given it all the good watering in. So there's the other potato. I think that could be it. It's definitely well watered in now. Right, I'll just get these washed and I'll be back with you shortly. There we are then, not the greatest harvest in the world, but more than enough for a meal. So I think if this is 81 days, then I'll probably leave it another couple of weeks and before I start to harvest any more, which will probably around about the 7th of July, something like 5th of July time, which is usually when I seem to pull my first potatoes up anyway, because it's the local village gala. Unfortunately there won't be one this year due to the COVID issues. It's been cancelled, but that is generally the rule of thumb when I come to harvest my new potatoes. So that's a nice little reveal. Like I say, it's not much, but it's better than nothing. It's nice to get a bit of harvesting done. We just weigh the potatoes and there's exactly a pound in weight. So a nice little bit of supper for me to go with a nice salad there, a knob of butter and a sprinkling of parsley. Right, it's quite dark at the moment. I'm just about to get off home. It's 10 to 10. However, I've just thought I'd pull one of these foremost to see what I've got. This is what I've done. I've took the actual plant out of the pot, but I'm actually going to put it back in. So I'm just going to see what potatoes I've got here. Look at that beautiful potato there. Take the biggest ones out. And then I'm going to try and pop it back in. Give it a good watering. And then hopefully it might come back again, produce some more potatoes. So I'm just going to get these done and then I'll be back with you shortly. Okay, so that's what I've got. I'm going to take these home and I'm going to give them away, and I'll let you know in the text section of this part of the video how much I've got. But that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to top this up with a bit more compost, give it a real good watering, leave it for say another 3 or 4 weeks, and then see if I can add to the haul from there, which is a nice little number. So now I'm back at home then, and I've weighed the potatoes. Variety were foremost. Got quite a nice little harvest here. 686 grams. Just over 1.8 pound in weight. So as I said, I've planted that plant back in the pot. I've given it a real good water up, top it with some compost as well, and hopefully I can get say another maybe half a pound. That'll take it to over £2, maybe £2.5 out of 2 seed potatoes, 15 litre pot. That'll be very nice indeed. But these are going into tomorrow night's tea. First ale is variety foremost, roughly 85 days. Hi everyone, I'm just down at the other plot at the moment. This is the one what's sadly going to be gone in around 10 weeks time. A lot of people who already know the reasons why subscribe and watch my videos often, so I won't bore you with the reasonings and go into the politics of it all. But I just thought I'd just give you a bit of a tour. This is probably the second to last tour I'll do of this allotment. The carrots in the box they're putting on some fantastic growth, and the second ones seem to have caught up, even though there's a month sowing distance between them. I've just picked my first cucumber off this. It's looking a bit wilty, so I've given it a good feed and a good watering in. Same with the peppers and the 2 melon there and the aubergine. So everything's looking really nice and green and healthy now in here after it's had a good drink. Just a little bit of a harvest then from today. 4 Tom Thumb lettuces, got some foremost new potatoes, first earlies and red Duke of York, Hearst green shaft peas, the Fem Spot F1 cucumber, Bunyard's exhibition, broad beans. They're doing really nice, so pod all those when I get home and get them in the freezer. Some icebergs just in this row here and in that row there. They're putting on some nice growth. And also these sweet corn, it's about 4 foot high now, so we've got another foot to go, but it's already starting to put the flowering spears out the middle. So this is the legumes section. Broad beans, there's still plenty to come on them. They've grown really well this year, as have the French wax beans. They were looking quite sick and tired at one bit when we first put them in May, but June and summer July we had some great weather, raining, and it's flowered, and I'm even getting some beans coming on them now, so some more to be picked and put in the freezer soon. The first lot and second lot of peas, the Hearst green shafts. First time I've ever grown this variety, but there's stacks of peas left to come. They just need to fatten up a bit and pod up. And then I've got this little double row here at the front, so great news. Runner beans, they've picked up massively. They're doing really well. We've had a bit of rain last night, so they've perked up massively, and they're already starting to flower now. And this is the potato section. All these new potatoes go to about there, and then they're the main crops in the far distance there, so they'll have to be dug up literally the last few days before we have to come off. We're hoping there might be a little bit of leeway, because there is some veg what will go into the later end of the year, but see what mood the landowner decides to be in that particular day, we ask him. And finally, Brassica section. The roundhead summer cabbages are doing great. I've already had one, fantastic. Collies, they're putting on some great growth. Hopefully they'll start producing some curds before long. And inside there is some spring cabbages, some of the pointy ones, so they're doing really well too. So that's for that section. Onions, I know it needs a weed, but like I say, what's the point? We've only got a few more weeks left and they're starting to bend over now, so give it another, say, 4 weeks and I'll be digging these out, letting them dry on the surface before I store them. And then finally the courgettes. Brilliant, absolutely, the leaves are massive on these. Zucchinis, I don't know if we've got any yet. I've got a big one in there, so that needs to be picked. And there's plenty of flowers, great big marrow there. I might just leave that on just to see how big a marrow I can get. Not deliberate by all means, but a couple of nice little ones there and another one there. So that's it for down here then, really. It's, you know, it's getting to that stage now. We're just getting things off and bit by bit and picking bits of different veg, what's in season, and not wasting what we've got down here at the moment. So 10 weeks from now it'll all be done with, sadly. But anyway, I'll just get back onto the other plot and I'll give you a couple of potato reveals just before I sign off the video. So then, back down on the plot, and as you saw before, it was a bit of a dump in the beds, and I've had a real good mow out, cleaned a lot of these beds out. These shallots are ready for finishing now anyway. The red and white onions continue to grow, although there is a couple now have started to flop over. And it's been doing a bit of tidying up. There's a bit of rubbish to get rid of, but the squash are all doing excellent. Courgettes are producing mass numbers of courgettes, as they usually do. And I think these are a couple of pumpkins. I just totally forgot what they were. The wind blew the pots over and the labels went all over the yard. So sadly I can't remember what they are, but they do look like pumpkins. And I hope they are, because I've not got any in. So parsnips are putting some massive growth now. Turnips are doing excellent. Carrots. And then finally I've planted some swede. So hopefully that does the job for me this year. Moving on, sweet corn now is up at 4 foot high. Picking loads of lettuces and sweet peas. broad beans, they're about nearly finished. I'm going to pick the rest of them off and then I can get them in the freezer. Peas, a couple of rows, and the dahlias are now starting to pop out, which is lovely to see. I never used to be a fan of growing flowers, but this dahlia there, black cherry, how beautiful that is. So yeah, it's a lot better than it was not so long back. I'll just show you what the grape's like, because that's absolutely mad in there, but I have really thinned it out and I've still got to thin it out again, so plenty of bunches of grapes on in here. So I'll just get on with the potato reveal then, just before I go, and I'll show you, hopefully, a good crop. Well, I just thought I'd give myself 5 minutes, have a bit of tea, a bit of coffee. There's nothing better than having a bit of tea on the allotment. Can't beat it. Nice little stove, bit of bread, beans and sausages. Lovely. Just before I go then and sign off, I'm going to do a couple of potato reveals. This was the pot what I did probably at the start of this video actually, whereby I just took a few of the big potatoes out, planted it back in and kept watering it, so it's had another couple of weeks in, so let's see what I've got. Right then, so let's break it up and see if there's anything more. There's a couple more in there. And little tiddlers, I think. There's loads on them, but they're just really small. But the plants seemingly look like it were dying off a bit. So let's have a look. There's a couple. This variety was foremost. It's the first early. You can see what little potatoes still attached to there, so I'll sift through them in a bit. But yeah, I got to cut a few more out, probably about another half a dozen or so. So I'll do alright. Absolutely loads actually, foremost. I've got another foremost tub here which I'm going to empty out and show you as well, so just skip through there a minute. Right, so that's that one. Right, so where are we? There we go, foremost, first early, 2 seed potatoes. Right, I'll just put this camera down, just empty the bucket out and I'll get back to you. Right, here we go, and as you can see, there's a nice big in there. Crikey, that's a crack of that. Another one underneath. Beauties. 2 seed potatoes in this one. It seems like I've just got absolutely big uns in here, but I'm happy with that. Very nice indeed. Some lovely spuds in fact. So if the quality is a bit poor, I'm just a bit jiggy on the phone. Hopefully I'm bringing you some decent footage and you can see what is going off. Right, let's see if I've got the scales down here then, and I'll just give them a quick measure. Right, so I've got the luggage scales, so there we go, just for fairness, it's 0.30 kilograms. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put all these foremost potatoes in here now, and then we'll see what we've got. There's quite some big spuds, so I might get a couple of pound if I'm lucky. Right then. So 1.10 kilograms, so we need to take 0.30 off. So we've got 0.80 kilograms, which works out the equivalent of about 1.75 pound or something like that. So yeah, not a bad little haul at all. I'm quite happy with that. That's a good meal or so. So yeah, I'm quite pleased with the foremost. It's been quite a good crop so far. I've had a couple of buckets already, and they seem to be producing mass numbers of potatoes this year. No scab on them or anything, no damage. They're quite clean potatoes, really nice, and you can't get any better really. Homegrown new potatoes. So anyway, that's it for this episode. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again on the next one. Bye for now.